Okay, good afternoon, everyone. As a preliminary matter, this is Dina Weatherly, support staff. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Michael Kopka,
Yep.
Barbara Tibbetts,
Yep.
Jack Bulger,
Here.
Bethany Oliver,
Yes.
and Tony, I don't know your last name.
It's because I'm hiding. Tony Wagner here.
Tony Wagner. Okay, staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Chantal Blaise Murphy.
Here.
And Dina Weatherly. I'm here. And we have no anticipated speakers. Okay. Good evening. This open meeting of the Nantucket Cultural Council is being conducted remotely pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment. For this meeting, the NCC is convening by video conference via Zoom app as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that all attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you and to take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. All supporting materials that have been provided to members of this body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless I or the chair notes otherwise. We are now turning to the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting times. I will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, the chair will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Further, please remember to mute your phone or computer when you are not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until I or the chair yield the floor to you and state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in a conversation with other members, please do so through myself or the chair, taking care to identify yourself. This has public comment, although no members of the public are present. But after members have spoken, the chair will afford public comment to those members of the public that have joined the meeting via Zoom. Members of the public who wish to speak must state their names and be acknowledged by and speak through the chair. Finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. So, have the agenda up. Do one of the chairs want to run it, or do you guys want me to go ahead?
Dina, do you mind tossing it to me if the
Oh,
chairs don't object to that?
sure.
Thank you. So I wanted to go over the findings from our cultural council report that I was trying to submit last month. As you know, the last two meetings we voted on in executive session, we discussed the grant, the panel book. And then we had a public session voting on the grants. However, when I was doing the report in January, I realized that there was a little bit of discrepancy. So I ended up meeting with the town treasurer to figure out what was going on. And we found that there was $2,459.08 from previous grant cycles that weren't granted out. So one of those is a grant that we had actually given to Linda Lauren, and they weren't able to use the fund, so that money was left over. And then the rest of it, I couldn't even tell you where it came from. I don't know if you remember when I first started with you guys with the first grant cycle, which I believe was about 3 years ago at this point. Emma and I, while I was going through just doing my own audit to get a good understanding of the Cultural Council, I ended up finding that there was a lot of leftover funds throughout the years, which we weren't technically supposed to keep. So Emma and I went back about 7 years into the grant cycles and did a full audit of those and as best we could cleaned up so that we could do that big grant out, which was, I believe, 2 grant cycles ago. So I think this is just kind of left over from that, especially because one of those grant cycles was it wasn't a direct grant, so it was a reimbursement grant. So people tend to forget to request, they get the grant letter saying, yay, you've gotten this grant, and then they forget to actually send us their receipts and request their checks. So that leaves us with money. And there was only so much chasing that Emma and I could do throughout the years to get folks to please take the money that you all awarded them. But the plus side is now there's money left over to give to folks who requested funds this year. So I kind of went through with Mindy to make sure that this was an accurate number. And it wound up being, what was it, $8,100 that I felt like was a weird number to grant out. So what I did, I went through the cultural district, and I can create a grant to the cultural council of $1,840.92 that then brings your total funding to grant out this year to $10,000, which just feels like a nice clean number personally. So to make things easier on you all, I did the math, and what we wound up having was our proposal is for you all, if you were to award the Boys and Girls Club the full 600 they requested, the NCTV their full 600, Nantucket Island Fair their 500, Small Friends the 700, the Book Foundation the 500, and Mariah Mitchell the $1,000 that they requested. So that's basically all that they requested. They would get it all. It would leave for the remaining 5. It would leave 6,100 for them to split 5 ways, which would work out being $1,220 to each of those organizations. And those organizations are Artists Association, Bulgarian Education, Linda Lauren, Comedy Fest, and Community Music Center. Do you guys have any questions? Any oppositions?
Sounds like you've done your homework. Thank you.
Thank you,
Sounds like
Jen.
you've done our homework. Thank you.
You are very welcome. I'm hoping
Yes,
that
that's correct.
I'm hoping that we'll be able to zero out the account this time around and start over fresh next year. And the beauty is we're in direct granting. So as soon as we issue those contracts and they get everything back to us, the funds go out, which will be great. So that is the proposal. If someone would like to make a motion for that, we'll have to do it in 2 parts and just remove Community Music Center from it
If,
just because of
do we have
timing.
enough, if I just abstain from the whole thing, do we have enough people to vote for it? Instead of splitting it into 2, I could just not vote. Because
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. So if anyone has a motion to approve,
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the disbursements as presented by staff.
and if we could have a second,
I'll second that.
thank you, Jack. And if we can just go around, Bethany Oliver
Yes.
and Barbara Tibbetts,
Yes,
Jack Bolger,
Yes.
and Michael Kopko.
Yes.
And if you could just mark that Tony abstained from the vote, please, Dina. And that was easy. So now I have to, so if you're wondering what happened last month, because we had a deadline to meet to submit that report, I actually reached out to Timothea at MCC when I noticed the discrepancy and just let her know that we needed to meet again. They opened up the report that we submitted back in October that the town treasurer gave us so that we could have our formal meeting to vote on whether or not you were in support of this proposal and to accept that cultural district funding going into the cultural council funding. And then I will have to go back, fix the October report, do the January report, and send out the grant approvals. So the denials that you all sent, those were all, that doesn't change anything, but it's just the approval letters that are delayed. So once we get those out, and the beauty is I've already written the town side contract. So it just needs to go to the contract coordinator. Sorry, ignore my dog. Sorry, new puppy. He's very chatty. So it just needs to go to the town's contract coordinator, and then he'll approve it and send it to the organizations directly. And that's hopefully that for this grant cycle.
Great, more money for culture, bucking the national trend.
There we go. It was a pleasant little surprise. It's really nice. So, Dina, I can toss it back to you if you would like, or to one of our co-chairs.
What else is on our agenda? I'm happy to. I see we need to approve minutes from January and public comment and then other business, right? So I think we can have probably the quickest meeting on record.
Thanks to Sean Dawes' work.
I know. Thank you. Thanks for making this easy.
Thank you guys for being in agreement. It makes my job easier too.
I was
Well-
not here in January, so I'm not going to vote on the minutes at that meeting.
Sounds good. I'll go ahead and move that we approve those minutes as they were in the email we got earlier today.
And I second.
I'm not sure if we go through the roll call vote or if one of you guys have to.
So you'll go through the roll call vote.
Sounds good. So Bethany,
Yes.
Jack,
Yes.
Barbara,
Yes.
Michael.
Abstain.
All right. And Tony Wagner, yes.
Just have to do the awkwardness of opening for public comment and acknowledging that there are no members of the public present, and then closing for public comment.
Sounds good. We'll do that. So we are open for public comment, and seeing nobody here, we'll close. Is that it? Is that all we got to do today? Anybody have anything they want to add for other business? Anything they want to talk about?
I have one thing, if you don't mind, please. I sent an email to you all just letting you know that Ava Rollins has decided to step down from the council. Ava, if you're out there in the multiverse, just know that we appreciate the time you spent with us and the work that you put into the council, all of your marketing insight that you had to offer us, and for working on those lovely press releases, and for sharing your media contacts with us as well. And for anyone, the 12 people that watch us on YouTube, if any of you are interested in serving on the Cultural Council, please contact Maureen Coleman or Erica Mooney in the town administration's office. You can stop in. You can also find the committee interest form online, or you can reach out to me directly. My email is sblois@nantucket-ma.gov. You can find me on the town's website, and I can send that form to you directly. We're also happy to meet with anyone who's interested in the council just to chat about what we do here. And for the council members, you remember I had spoken to Anne at your request a little while ago. I'm going to reach out to her just to let her know that there's a seat open now.
Sounds good. I also was approached by Kendall Graham, who I think is going to submit an application. She was asking what we do. So I'm happy to get her in contact with you too, if you'd like.
Oh, that would be awesome. Thanks, Tony. I don't know who Kendall is. So that'll be exciting.
Yeah, she's working at the Inky now. And she's, I just think, interested in getting engaged.
Great. I love to hear it. Awesome. Thank you. If there's nothing else, we can entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Any objection? All right, without objection, we are adjourned. Thanks,
Oh,
everybody.
You just have to do a roll call. I'm so sorry. I know
Oh,
the
shoot.
formalities of it are so awkward.
All right, so Bethany,
Yes.
Jack,
Yes.
Barbara,
Yes.
Michael,
You betcha.
And Tony, yes. So we are adjourned, everybody. I think this is, let's see, it's 4:26. Yeah, quickest meeting ever.
Everyone have a good night.
right.
Bye-bye.
Jack.
Everybody, thanks, Shanta.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shanta.
Have a good one.
Good night.